Hello and welcome to another model building workshop. I am Mr. Allen, coming to you from Providence, Rhode Island, on behalf of the Community Libraries of Providence. And today we're looking at this old dragon kit, which I'm probably going to murder the pronunciation. The Tauch Panzer III Ausf H. So in English, this is a submersible version of the Panzer III-H. So this was equipped with snorkeling devices to be used for river and other amphibious type invasions. So that's what this is all about. And here she is. This is an older kit from Dragon. Goes back to the 1990s, which is probably when I built this. Now, I'm a big fan of the Panzer III. I think it's probably the coolest looking of the German tanks. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's got a lot of fun surface details and things to paint on them. So, oops. So this one here is painted and in the markings of the 18th Panzer Division. It's got the skull floating above the waves, designed specifically for river crossings and whatnot. And the 18th Panzer was tasked with crossing the Bug or Buck River, which runs through like Poland and Belarus and Ukraine in 1941 at the beginning of the Operation Barbarossa. So, and there are photos you can probably find online of one of these, coming out of the water during that operation. So as you can see on a tank like this, they wanted it as buttoned up as possible. So there's really not a lot of open grills or any ventilation in there. If they could avoid it, they would, because this is going to be going underwater. And you can see on the side, it's got the snorkel stored there. That would be attached, so this could do some deep water, crossing. Now I got to say, you got to be a pretty brave crew to decide, let's just drive underwater and hope for the best. That wouldn't be my choice, but that's what these guys did. And as to how often they were used, that's a good question. I know of that one operation, and there was the other famous operation, which didn't happen, was Operation Sea Lion, which was the proposed landings in the invasion of Britain, which did not occur. But there are markings for those vehicles here as well. So let's see. Actually, no, there are not. Okay, so that's an interesting thing because, all right, so they give you, which I got the notes on here from when I built this, they have markings here actually for the 4th Panzer Division, which they're claiming is the 18th Panzer Division, which is not. So the 4th Panzer Division was training for Operation Sea Lion, and that's what this variant, this version, was supposed to be. And they got it wrong. So, and that one here is the 18th. But you can see the markings for the other. So, as typical for Dragon, you can see there's a lot of parts in this kit that they didn't use because they made a lot of different variants of the Panzer III, which are really cool. And so you'd have a lot of spare parts because there would be so many different sprues and so many pieces that would go for other variants of the kit. So you get quite a bit of spare parts set aside after building some of these. And the assembly, if you're familiar with Dragon kits, it's pretty much, not full of too many surprises. I guess the big challenging part would be doing the link by link tracks, which not everybody likes those. I didn't find it to be too bad on a tank like the Panzer III to do. Other ones like smaller tanks, yeah, it could be a real nightmare. And the other issue you have to do on some of these kits is there's a lot of cutting and sanding because you're correcting and adapting, you know, the molds of other versions of the Panzer III to turn it into this version. So there's a lot of that you got to do. Removing pieces and adding stuff. It's like opening a map. This thing just goes on forever here. And there's a lot of the gear that goes on the fenders. But you get the idea of all that's involved here as I fight with the instruction sheet. And you can see, this is what gets interesting with the turret, is you have all of these parts here, which are basically like these rubberized sealing things to try to protect it from getting the water into the vehicle. And you get the two-piece cannon that goes there. This is the short barrel 50, which is what was the commonplace in 1940-41, which is when the H model came out. Something else that is new on the H version is that it's got a different style drive sprocket. The original ones had circular holes in it, perforations, and this has now got a different design. The tracks were widened for the Type H, and the road wheel spacing is a little bit different. Not the idler. I'll get it right. The return rollers. Sorry. Return rollers are spaced differently because the track is now heavier. On the original Panzer IIIs, you'll notice that the three return rollers they're equally distanced from each other, so they perform a very symmetrical look. Where you can notice on this variant and the following variants that this first road my goodness, I don't know why I can't say return roller. The first one is moved closer to the drive sprocket to handle the weight of the track. There, I got through it. So that's a telltale sign of the H, J, and the later the L's and M's. They're going to have the wheels spaced as such because they have the heavier track. Yeah. So again, a fun kit to build. Yeah, it does take some work, but Dragon always does. But boy, they make magnificent pieces when they're done. I mean, hopefully you like what I did with this, but I've seen many of these at model shows, and I'm always blown away at what you can do with a Dragon model if you have the patience. Because I think the detail is fantastic. Now, granted, these are older Dragon kits from the 90s. They've only gotten better. Although maybe, they might have more photo etch and so forth now, but still, they make magnificent models. And if you like them, go for it. So anyway, that is the look at the swimming Panzer III, the Panzer III-H. And of course, Dragon does make a standard version Panzer III-H as well, which I built one of those too because I'm kind of I'm a tank junkie as it is, and a model kit junkie, and I like Panzer IIIs on top of that. So yeah, I've done a number of these, and I got a few more to do. So they're on my list of things to do. Okay, we will see you on the next episode, and take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon. Bye.